Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Self-Reliant Creative Process. In the last couple of videos, we discussed some of the guidelines to work with in engaging your creative process, like releasing judgment when you're first formulating your ideas, giving yourself freedom to explore, not be censored. And then once that is done, we go to the other side of the coin, which is to then kind of take the idea apart, see if it's going to work, and potentially kill the creation before you even get started because, well, it's better to know right away if it's not going to work and save your time, energy, and resources. Then we talked about the idea of having a mindset of kind of being flat, or what we would refer to as being like even keeled, and just sort of relaxed and focused and moving along, but not too high strung or too out of control, so to speak. So today we're going to cover another guideline. This guideline is also a Venn diagram. And yes, it's the Venn diagram I promised you a few videos back. And this Venn diagram is the concept of task and vision. It might be Andy's favorite. I'd have to check with him on that, but it is absolutely critical. And when we lose awareness or understanding or connectivity to one, the other just falls apart so quickly. So let's break it down a little bit and see how all that connects. So typically we start with a vision for the possibility of creating something, or simply manifesting some change, like cleaning and organizing the garage. And as our vision formulates, we recognize the need for completing one or more tasks. And even with a simple and basic vision starting out, we can usually identify and complete a few tasks. Every executed task possesses the potential for making the vision itself clearer. When you're armed with a clear vision, the subsequent tasks themselves become clear. Hence, vision drives task, task drives vision. Each functions to clarify the other. Now, task and vision have a macro and micro quality to them. The macro, or the vision, aims. The micro, or the task, acts. So going macro, seeing the vision, takes us up to the 30,000-foot view. It's like breathing in, going up in a hot air balloon. So you kind of go back and you're going up and you're breathing in and you're just seeing this amazing vision, and all these ideas are coming to you, and you're going to do this and that, and it's going to be amazing. And then we start back down, and that's going micro to the point way down to actually hyper-focusing potentially on the next set of items. And now we're breathing out. And this is a process that we go back and forth. So the vision delineates what we want to accomplish before we start. And when execution, or the task, the doing of tasks, wanes, either we don't see the task serving the vision, or we don't believe in the vision, or we're not connected to the vision, or the vision is in some way unrealistic and we just can't get our arms around it, or there's interference from our own personal process. That goes back to the Venn diagram of process and execution. So these are very important reasons why we need to keep this connection between task and vision close. Because if we don't do the tasks, we're not going to achieve the vision. And if we don't achieve the vision, we're not going to get what we want. So we start, when possible, by focusing on tasks and decisions immediately in front of us, while avoiding jumping to the details or the highlights or the little bits and pieces until that's all that's left. See, flow follows focus. And that's what we want to be showing up in the present moment. We want to be in the flow and the focus that is reflected in that flow. It's basically the idea of effortless action. And this goes back to the Venn diagram of Eastern and Western thinking, because Eastern thinking is all about effortless action, going with the flow, being relaxed, allowing, being led. And Western, well, we know what Western's all about because we're living in it. So the balance between the two, so important with task and vision. Now, as we clarify our vision going along, we may decide it's not doable, or we're not that interested, or that the tasks involved are too monumental or discomforting for you. So I use myself as an example. When I came to the idea that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I had all these ideas about what I was going to do and what it would be like and what was involved. And it was an enormous learning curve on many levels, many new skill sets. And there was a point, and I can remember it very distinctly, where I reached the intersection between my dreams, the vision, the ideas, and, well, reality. And that can be a very sobering moment. And it certainly was for me. And the sooner we get to that, the better. And it's almost like a young woman wants to have children. And she envisions bringing these bundles of love into the world and the joy and all the wonderful things that will hopefully ensue. But part of that process involves 9 months of pregnancy, and not always real comfortable. And then there's a real uncomfortable part. It's called childbirth. So I had to recognize with this project that it was a big idea. And at some point, there's a pregnancy period. And in that pregnancy period is childbirth. And it is painful and difficult and very challenging. And you really find what you're made of and what your metal is and all of that. And that is something that we all experience when we're going after larger things. Hopefully we don't go through all that when we're trying to clean the kitchen or our bedrooms. But for the bigger things in life, absolutely. So it's better to know sooner than later and get to that intersection as quick as you can. And sometimes you just have to step into it and get some time on task and get some reality before you can get to that place. But 1 or 2 tasks just to get started usually will shed more light on the vision itself. And also, the vision will likely contain several points of accomplishment or targets along the way. And they offer structure to every task, which then provides more immediate feedback, and that enables adjustment to the evolving nature of the vision. And challenges absolutely arise when we're fashioning a vision we're reasonably certain of, but we don't have a solid sense of how to proceed. And in a situation like that, if we can select tasks that upon completion automatically determine the next tasks while simultaneously tightening up the vision, that's a beautiful thing. Because a newly conceived vision can go in countless directions. And when we first start a project, consider what first step or a couple of steps might best allow for seeing the next 4 or 5. And even better, what first step maybe could accomplish parts of the next 4 or 5. And this forward motion and movement involves 5 elements: your time, your energy, your resources, your focus, and your attitude. And that is what creates the flow and feedback between tasks and vision. Now, we get ourselves involved in lots of things in the course of our life. We start and stop many things, and we're growing and learning and understanding, and that's fine. It's all part of being human. It's part of maturing, hopefully gaining some wisdom and understanding about ourselves and what we want. Tasks and the vision associated with them are among the most important things to keep very close to our heart and on our to-do list, because that's how we're going to move forward in life. And some parts of life involve a very big vision, like starting a business or raising a family. And some are much smaller, and each carry a different amount of weight or a pressure or how much you actually have to put into it before you really understand what you're doing. Andy likes to talk about the concept of building an airplane, and what if you don't even know what an airplane looks like, but you're going to try to build one? Well, that would be really, really challenging. So you've got to try to get your arms around the things that you're trying to do and select things that will help you get your arms around them quickly. Because some things you just can't help but to get involved with a bit before you realize, no, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. That's not going to get me the goal that I have for that particular part of my life. So enjoy the process. Keep those tasks and the related vision close, always, as you're going forward. And that, as we know, is the homework bell. And so the question today is, where are you on the task and vision spectrum? In other words, you tend to be more focused on the vision or more focused on the tasks? Do you find that when the tasks are getting difficult, you kind of just hang out in the vision world and you're not as engaged in the tasks, or vice versa? I'd love it if you put your comments below, and I'd also love it if you'd like the video and subscribe to our channel. Okay? So let's go have some fun and get something done. See you soon.